So this is a very sort of retail restaurant reference that people would get if they're in the business. But, you know, when you're operating a restaurant or you're operating a store, you're taking in a lot of money. And, you know, barring the current state of the cashless movement where people are not taking cash, which we can go into if you wanted, but basically, and most of my career, people were taking in money, right? Taking in massive amounts of cash and they're putting it in the register. And every restaurant, every retailer has, you know, some form of, at the end of the night, counting out the register. So what happens from there is what sort of operators would call cash handling procedures, right? Like you count out the money, you put this amount in the safe, you put this much in a drop-in, and this much goes to the bank. So those are cash handling procedures. Most businesses that have a handful of locations create some sort of cash handling procedures. Pete's had been around for 40 years, more than 100 locations. They didn't have standardized cash handling procedures. And the reason was somebody believed that if we create cash handling procedures, the employees will think we're accusing them of stealing. And that would negatively impact the culture. So again, that's the right thinking. You don't want to do things that are going to make employees feel shitty about the culture. But it's like, is that really where you want to lay on your sword? Because the fact is, thousands and thousands of dollars weren't making it to the bank and employees were stealing. Yeah. Not all employees were stealing, but it was like, that's not the thing you want to hang your hat on. Like, create procedures and systems so that you can find it and track it when it goes missing. Yeah. And so you can weed out the people who are actually hurting your culture. But it's like those kinds of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, like an example of just listening to that issue, like one thing you could do that would empower the culture is to practice like open book management and make it about educating the people how to run a business. So if they want to go open their own place someday, they know exactly how to about empowerment and making it about the empowerment. Like, we're doing this about business just so you can know how cash is made. Like, when you take, it's all about how you approach it, I think is really
important. So much is about approach, and it's about, again, understanding people. I mean, there's some belief out there that people don't like rules, but I think that's not necessarily true. People don't like arbitrary rules.
People don't like change. People don't like change, and rules usually enforce change, or you need change to implement rules, right? And I think part of it's scary, and it's the initial resistance that we focus on. But when we know what our job does, or when we know what our job done right looks like, and we have an aiming point, it's actually very empowering. It actually gives people more a sense of security and control. And it's actually
yes. Again, helping people understand the reason for things can make a big difference.